Today's episode is sponsored by Astero's Cybersecurity Services. These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Astero's performs cybersecurity services providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Astero specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free. Ladies, mostly ladies. Only a lady would be off at this time of day. Men, what are you doing? Why aren't you at work? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web. It's The System is Down. Another happy hump day to you and yours. And great news today. You know, Donald Trump gave this big announcement that nobody saw coming. I'm not going to spoil it. Just know that it was completely out of left field. Nobody saw it coming, and it was really, wow, spectacular, amazing thing. Also, Dave Chappelle said some naughty things on the SNLs, and there's a lot to talk about. That and so much more. Poland getting bombed by God only knows who. Lots of things that we're going to talk about today. Before we get into this, I got to remind you guys to go share it. Go share this with your friends and your enemies and all the angry people on Twitter. And we're gonna get some spice going here in just a moment. Let's get weird.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do.
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
Half of Trump's supporters do what I call activist support.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with that smoke. We are still here.
We have to say yes to social justice.
No, tomorrow. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Yes, indeed, it is a big club, and you are not in it. However, you are in this club here. The System is Down. This nice little weirdo family that we have concocted out of the ashes of a burning empire. By empire, I mean world. Good lord, why is the music so loud? Hey guys, welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web. It's The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and, you know, news. All the fun things. All the things that you like to talk about around the Thanksgiving dinner table, some might say. Some might have said that for years. Stand by it. We're going to give you lots of fodder, lots of things to bring up next week at Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And, yeah. What better way to find out about it than by somebody who's uneducated, ill-informed, but likes to have a good laugh at the world while it burns. Before we do that, I got to remind you guys about my first and favorite and foremost, which is also the same as first, sponsor, which is you guys in the Downers Club, people like JC, Justin Savoy, Justico Mitchell, Silas Lane, Amy Lepore, Adam Choit, Matthew Walrus, Zach Varnell, Git Magoo, other people, Cole, Heffalumps, Level Zero, Jack Casey, the whole family. There's more people in the Downers Club now than I can remember, even more than are in my family. But they are my real family, and you can join that family. You can join the cult by going over to patreon.com/thesystemIsDown and signing up for the Downers Club for as little as $1 a month to get the after party live as it happens, which will be happening today. Or if you want to get all the content, all the backlog, everything that has always been, $5. $5 is all. Cost of a cup of coffee, or look at it this way, one single super chat per month, because YouTube does not allow me to super chat. So if you want more, and if you like this, and you want to hear more of this in the behind the paywall, and you want to hear more of it in front of the paywall for free, if you want more, I'll do more if you guys pay me more. See how that works? Capitalism. More weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content. Patreon.com/thesystemIsDown. Get in there and join the club, the cult, the family, whatever you want to call it. Now we got to talk about some news, and I am alone again today. Sad, I know, but I barely had any of this stuff. Like, I finished up the Donald Trump speech as I was supposed to be going live, basically. My God. Well, I should say, before any of that, we always have to start out with the good news to really set the tone, set the stage, because we can't just come in here being all negative and watching the world burn angrily. We gotta start it off good or something. I don't know. We have to start off with the good news before we laugh at the burning of the world. And the good news for today is, of course, guess what, guys? You're never gonna believe this. You're never gonna believe this. When he said that he had a big announcement, it's not what you thought. It's not. It's not that. It's that he was running for president. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Wow. Yes. Donald Trump is running for president again in 2024, and I know what some of you are thinking. What? I don't know really how to feel about something like this, honestly. There's a large part of me that wants him to run for the entertainment value of it. There's a large part of me that wants him to win, because I do think for all of his awfulness that Trump is, I think he is still better than Joe Biden, and that is a very low bar to hit. Part of me, the destructive part of me, the evil side of me, wants Donald Trump to just go ham and get out there and give me some content at least to work with. Even if you're not going to like put your all in or whatever, just get out there and give me some content to work with. But I don't know. I'm torn. I don't like the guy, and I'm really, frankly, sick of all of it. The jokes, the Trump humor, it's kind of old. It's not really funny anymore. It's the same joke shit over and over again. The news, yeah, I call out the people. They told me not to call out the people, but I called out all the people. They told me it was politically incorrect to say that men shouldn't be in women's sports. They told me it was politically incorrect, but I told them, you know what I told them? I told them, so. Like, this speech was boring as shit. This speech was literally Donald Trump just repeating the same things that he said 100,000 times, pretending like they're new, but also not selling it, like not acting like they're new, like bloviating about all the greatness that he accomplished and how he set Biden up for such great success, and he ruined all of it. I did such a great job. Didn't we do a great job? We did a great job. How Donald Trump did everything and Joe Biden did nothing, and we're going to make it great again, guys. We're going to do it this time. I mean, yeah, they in fairness, Donald Trump's first time around, he was not given a fair shake, and that is very apparent in the fact that, like, when I heard that Donald Trump was officially announcing yesterday, I was like, the thing that bothers me the most about that is that we didn't get a single break. A single break. He's been out of office for 2 years, and we did not get a single break from hearing him in the news screeching 24/7. I know that's not entirely Donald Trump's fault. Donald Trump did not get an entirely fair shake in his presidency. And what makes you think that he will this time? What makes you think it will be any different this time? He had 4 years. He did not get a fair shake. And the system is down, I suppose. The system sucks a lot. So, I don't necessarily have a solid answer for why, for how to get around that. But just know that nothing is going to change as long as you keep voting for the same people. And here's the thing about this speech. Donald Trump seems to be toning it down. Donald Trump, for the things that if there was anything to like about Donald Trump, the things that you liked about him aren't even really there anymore. Now he is the I'm not Joe Biden guy, basically, which is ironic, given, that was all Joe Biden ran on to begin with. The entire political spectrum right now is left and right with left just the word left and right the word right. Left isn't right and right isn't left, and that's all you need to know. Get out there and vote. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Donald Trump is toning it down in this speech, and we're not going to watch much of it. Maybe I'll jump through a couple clips just to show you how truly unimpressive this was, even for Donald Trump. So it seems to me like after the midterms, after DeSantis crushed, as we talked about last week, DeSantis crushes, and a whole lot of Donald Trump's people did not fare so well, even as well as, somebody who's not a right-winger. I assumed that they would have done way better based on the hype and the Trump back and stuff. It seems like if these elections aren't entirely rigged all throughout the country, everywhere, it seems like people aren't into the Donald Trump thing as much as they are the DeSantis thing. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell based off of the midterms, but it seems to me that more people are, if they had to vote in the GOP primary tomorrow, I would think it would be close, at least. Donald Trump is a powerhouse of gravitas and just demands attention, and that is why he will destroy Ron DeSantis. This is what we've heard. Yes, Ron DeSantis, he's got all these great qualities to him, and he's more buttoned up and politician-y, so that makes it a good thing because you can trust him. He's not bloviating and stuff. Donald Trump, though, will beat him because he is a powerhouse, unless the new strategy, since DeSantis was doing better than Trump in the midterms, Donald Trump decided to go this route, and I don't know if he's just trying. I have to assume he's trying to be more politician-y to take aim at people who are voting for DeSantis because DeSantis is more chill about all this stuff. But what Donald Trump seems to not realize, in my opinion, is that the only reason somebody at this point is voting for Donald Trump over Ron DeSantis is for the exact reason that I'm pointing at, the bloviating thing, the fact that he doesn't act like a politician. That is why they leaned toward him, even if they didn't agree with him on anything. That's why I enjoyed watching it, because even if I don't agree with him, I want to see what happens when the not politician guy who doesn't act like a politician, who just says what he means and means what he, says the quiet parts out loud. Let's say that. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see what that looked like. And it turns out it's not that much different than most other presidents, in a lot of ways, at least. But now he's toning it down, which is so you're going to beat Ron DeSantis by acting more like Ron DeSantis and still being Trump. There might be something there, because there might be people, I'm sure there are people who are I would vote for Trump if you would just calm down. And after the other possibility is that he's not trying to tone it down. He's just deflated after those miserable midterms that he had, which it's funny that we're looking at the midterms as Ron DeSantis versus Donald Trump, as though they're in opposite parties, because it seems like they kind of are. But after maybe he's just deflated. Maybe he's not taking his Adderall for the day. But something about this felt off to me. Not even just the delivery, but the content, the things that he's actually saying just aren't anything new at all, which leads me to believe that there was nothing there to begin with, mostly because a lot of the things that he's talking about that he's going to do definitely in the next 4 years are the same things that he was talking about leading into the last time. And he had 4 years. We're going to do it this time, though. I promise. So, yeah, let's just watch a couple of clips here. We'll just jump around. Maybe watch him awkwardly drink water.
The States has been embarrassed, humiliated, and weakened for all to see. The disasters in Afghanistan, perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, where we lost lives, left Americans behind, and surrendered $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. And Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were your president, or something.
Or something. That's an accurate Freudian slip. It would have never happened if I was your president or something. Whatever. Maybe.
And even the Democrats admit that. That's something I've seen them admit over and over again. But our enemies are speaking of us with scorn and laughter and derision because of those two events. But there are many more. Even just today, a missile was sent in, probably by Russia, to Poland.
False. We're going to talk about that more later. But not even Donald Trump knows the truth about that.
50 miles into Poland, and people are going absolutely wild and crazy, and they're not happy. They are very, very angry.
Oh, not happy, and also
now we have
they're very, very
president
angry.
Who falls asleep at global conferences,
I'm going to fall asleep at this one.
was held in contempt by the British Parliament over Afghanistan.
All right. So, yeah, you get it.
Very nice, easy life. It's this is something I didn't need, and a lot of you people don't need either. But we love our country, and we have to take care of our country. We have to save our country. Every policy must be geared toward that which supports the American worker, the American family, and businesses, both large and small, and allows our country to compete with other nations on a very level playing field, which we never had until
I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess this just wasn't it. If all the stuff that it was said about this guy going through all this FBI raid and all this investigation, interrogation, all this stuff, all these crazy things, all this election stealing and all that stuff, if he went through all that, and then he decided, I'm going to run for president, and then I'll come back and stick it to the man, and he wanted to convince me that he was going to actually stick it to the man, he went quite the wrong way with it. Does this lead you to believe that the first time going in, yes, he got a bit of a hard time from the press, and he never stopped getting a hard time ever since then. But then after the midterm debacle and all the FBI shit that, surprise, surprise, shockingly came to be nothing. Yeah, if he has this many enemies at this point, how do you not have more fire than this? Why is it that I am more passionate talking about a politician whose lack of passion, I'm pretty dry. I'm pretty emotionless. And Donald Trump is pretty loud and brash. So just, like, I don't know, just compare. Just think about it. Like, if I went and had my life completely wrecked, as we're supposed to believe that this man has had, and I was going to come back and stick it to all my enemies, I'd be a little bit more into it, I suppose. I would have convinced myself a little bit more than he seems to have convinced himself. Maybe it's because it's harder to convince yourself that you're winning when you're losing. And again, I would rather Republicans win than Democrats. And also, Republicans are doing poorly. Don't need to go back down that road, but go check out the rant from last week, all about the midterms and everything, that you were handed it. You had it handed to you, and then you hitched your cart to this really rousing specimen here, Donald J. Trump. It's unfortunate. If he came back and he was on fire and he was really selling it, he might be able to convince me Probably not. Very unlikely. But yeah, this ain't it, bro. Try again. This was your big announcement that you've been hyping. All right. Not only did we know that that was what you were going to say exactly, like we knew that you were going to make that the announcement, but we also knew the entire rest of the speech. Nothing about this was new. Thank you. Exciting. And also, after seeing Donald Trump allegedly, I don't know, I didn't dig that deeply into it, but after the midterms, all these stories of him like throwing fits and like blaming Melania or Ivanka or somebody about the Dr. Oz Fetterman issue. Just hearing about his tirades and fits and everything, it's like, you guys doing this? Really? This is what you want? This is what you're going for? I mean, at the very least, I would say Republicans, you better be primarying the hell out of these folks, because if you just go with Donald Trump because that's the guy who's had a hard time and he's the underdog and we need to feel sorry for him. He even calls himself the victim. I'm the victim. Even if you are a victim, coming out on stage and telling everybody that you're a victim just is hardcore beta energy, does it not? Guys, I'm the victim, so you should vote for me because I'm going to be a strong leader. No, that ain't it, bud. Tain't it. But NPR came out and they were very unbiasedly reporting on this announcement this morning with this article saying, breaking, Donald Trump, who tried to overthrow the results of the 2020 presidential election and inspired a deadly riot at the Capitol in a desperate attempt to keep himself in power, has filed to run for president again in 2024. That, my friends, is the unbiased journalism that your tax dollars pay for. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, even if all these things were true, which, I mean, define deadly riot exactly. How many people have to die in a deadly riot? Is it one woman getting shot by a cop? Is that a deadly riot? Desperate attempt to keep himself in power. He inspired a deadly riot. So he didn't, at least he didn't conspire and instigate the deadly riot. It is funny that he inspired it now after we spent the last forever holding kangaroo court trials about how he incited them. Now he just inspired them. Yep. So they can just make things up without evidence, right? He tried to, even if he instigated the deadly riot, how do you know that he was trying to overthrow the results? Did he say that? Do you have evidence of that? If not, then it seems to me like National Public Radio is a Democrat shill organization. I am shocked. I never would have saw that coming. Yeah, so that's fun. In other news, Biden came out after the midterms and had some fun things to say, like this. Biden says Democrats will not be able to pass abortion rights legislation. Womp, womp. Shocking. If there's one lesson of today, it should be these politicians. You can say they're not all the same. Fine, they're not all the same. Some people run on this, some people run on that. But where they are the same is in the nothing that they accomplish that they promised you. Nothing. Not a single thing. And the only time you benefit from anything that they do is by accident. When you're accidentally a bystander of their self-gratifying whatever decision that they make. Self-gratifying stuff that they do. That's the only time things work in our favor, isn't it? When they're just kind of like going by the seat of their pants and giving themselves stuff, and then maybe a couple breadcrumbs fall down to the rest of us. That's how this works. But Biden, not that I want, the abortion rights thing. I'm just saying, none of these people are pushing for you. They're pushing for them. Biden will say anything that he can possibly say to get power. The man is should have zero credibility at this point. Amazingly and staggeringly less than Donald Trump, believe it or not. For as little as Donald Trump got done, good Lord, we've got Biden, who was going to be releasing marijuana prisoners. He was going to be canceling student loan debt. He's going to codify Roe, and none of that happened. None of that's going to happen. And if you're surprised, you're not paying attention, because it was never going to happen. And if they're telling you it's going to happen, if they're running on it, if they're saying it very confidently, that's how you know it's never going to happen. Because the more sensational and amazing it sounds, the more sensational and amazing it is, the less realistic it is. But yeah, Donald Trump, same thing. Look at his speech. He's still running on the same things he ran on. He already had the chance. He is the same in that regard. But good news. You know, our boy Fetterman, good old boy, the beautiful ogre John Fetterman. He did something amazing this week. Something that shocked us all, really. It was so amazing that it was trending. People had to write about this. John Fetterman, Pennsylvania Senator-elect John Fetterman, arrives to new member orientation wearing a suit and tie. Wow. Holy crap. John Fetterman dressed like a big boy this morning, and that's the news. That's the best that we've got to tell you guys right now. Sure, he hasn't really done anything yet. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But this is, at best, not a great sign for where this is going, and also not in the least bit a surprising sign for where this is going. John Fetterman is going to be praised every time he puts on pants, just like Joe Biden is praised every time he walks upstairs successfully or eats an ice cream cone. We'll have to start a new segment. We'll have to start a Fetterman segment, Fetterman 2024 segment of some sort, where we highlight and remember all of Fetterman's moments, because God knows he doesn't remember a single one of them. Now, we have some other things to talk about, and that is my subtle way of saying I don't know what the next thing is, so I'm going to switch over here and see what it is, because I'm a professional podcast host, which, according to Twitter this morning, according to a very angry individual on Twitter, me being a podcast host, man, that's bad. That's really bad for the Libertarian Party. Doesn't help anybody in this movement. If you're not out knocking doors, you ain't doing shit. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this very angry man. He's very important. He's very important. He's gotten people elected. He's, I think, gotten elected himself. He's very important, and you'll know that he's important by how important he tells you he is. That's how you know. We'll talk about him shortly. But he was very angry at me today for something. I'm not sure what. And I would tell you his name, but honestly, I don't know what it is, because I've never heard of this very important man. But you're going to hear about him today. We're going to do the Lord's work and let you all know who this very important, very angry man is. Before we do, let's talk about some other very important, very angry men like Jack Posobiec. You may have heard of this man. He's a hardcore right-winger. He's one of the evil, scary ones. I've liked him. I like some of his personality. I like when he goes on Timcast sometimes. Obviously, I don't agree with him on some things. I don't know. Like, I've never watched his show or, like, really dug into him or anything, so I don't know. I'm sure he's just neocon light at best, which is unfortunate. And I'm sure probably on war, I would agree with him on absolutely nothing. But speaking of Twitter tards, let's talk about Jack Posobiec, because he, during this Poland thing, so story, if you will, to my understanding is that Russia, it's a big country next to Ukraine, which is a little country. At least that's how Kamala Harris described it. I think that's accurate. Big country invading little country, bombing little country, starting to, like, back off, it seemed. It seemed to a lot of us like Russia was starting to back off. As they're backing off, though, Russia's just like, we're just going to lob a bomb or two, a couple missiles over there into Poland. NATO ally, Poland. Start World War III, just because. Yes, they are backing off. I guess they're backing off in preparation for World War III that they're going to start. They need to reserve the rest of their missiles, so poke the bear on your way out the door. That seems like a great idea. I don't know. Maybe they weren't backing off. Maybe that's all conspiracy nonsense. But when this came out that Russia definitely intentionally, missile striked Poland and killing, last I knew it was two Polish citizens. When Russia definitely did that, people like Jack Posobiec, it took them 10 minutes to come out and say this. If this was a deliberate attack on the sovereign territory of Poland, it must be repaid in blood. Hold on, I need blood. There we go. That's the best I've got right now. It must be repaid in blood. Yeah. Now, I get the sentiment because it's a pretty common sentiment, but maybe I'm too in an echo chamber here, but how does somebody in today's day and age so he does say if it was deliberate. So there's some big ifs there. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it wasn't them. Who knows? If it was deliberate, though, it must be repaid in blood. Because that's worked so great. So great. 2 Polish people died. I'm not that's awful. And that sucks a lot. 2 Polish people died. But let's go to World War III on a hunch over 2 dead people. 9/11 happened, and because of that, we ended up in Afghanistan for 20 years and absolutely nothing to show for it other than the Taliban coming in and taking over the entire country after we left and taking all of our stuff. This is a lot like a 20-year Afghanistan war that leads to nothing at best, but with extra nuclear holocaust added on to it. So, yeah, maybe chill the fuck out, Jack. How about you just calm down a bit? Or at least wait until you know the story before calling for people's heads. As a journalist, maybe just wait 1 second. Because immediately after, Jack Posobiec posted this. U.S. officials now admit blast in Poland caused by stray missile fired by Ukraine. Wow. Who could have saw it coming? Yeah. So, Ukraine did it. Now, there's, of course, the only possible explanation is that Ukraine's still the innocent party here, and it's Russia's fault. We all know that. We all knew that would be the case. They were firing at Russian missiles, and their missile just straight off into Poland accidentally when they were shooting at their missiles. Okay. Now, I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter this morning, a different person than the gentleman that I spoke of before, whose name I don't know. This was a different gentleman whose name I don't care about. And he was saying something to the effect of, well, if somebody broke into your house and you went to shoot them and a stray bullet or some fragments or shrapnel from a stray bullet, because bullets make shrapnel, I guess. If shrapnel from a stray bullet went through through your neighbor's house and broke a lamp, would you say that that's your fault? Yes. First off, yeah, it would be your fault. Duh, you shot the bullet, and it is your responsibility to know where that's going. That's why you think before just shooting willy-nilly in a situation like that. Yeah, it would be your fault. Secondly, did you just compare 2 Polish people to a broken lamp? Because that seems very inconsiderate of you, sir. Yeah, because I had said something about turning the table or whatever, saying, we need to... obviously, we need to invade Ukraine now because everybody was ready for calling for blood if it was Russia shooting at Poland. But if it's Ukraine, who's also not a NATO ally, shooting at Poland, that's fine, I guess, because it was an accident. It was not only an accident, but it was Russia's fault. NATO says Russia is ultimately to blame for Poland missile hit. Moscow denies striking Kiev in latest attacks. Of course it was Russia's fault. A flurry of urgent and high-level diplomatic talks are taking place among NATO members on Wednesday as more details emerge following a missile that struck Polish territory last night. Russia was heavily suspected of firing the missile that killed 2 Polish citizens, although it denied any involvement, calling it a provocation. Meanwhile, NATO members, particularly Poland and its Eastern European neighbors of former Soviet states in the Baltics, said there would be a tough response if Russia is found to be behind the attack. What if they're not found to be behind the attack? What if it's Ukraine, Poland? Well, then nothing happens because they're working in cahoots with some big asshole country over here. We got anything in the chats? I'm rambling too much. I suppose it's kind of the point of this, but leave fake super chats. I should probably mention that from time to time. Fake super chats in the chats, because I can't super chat. So all caps, fake super chat, then leave your super chat if you have something you want me to read. Hector Ruse says, Chappelle as Trump's running mate is a ticket I'd vote for just for laughs. Yeah. Yeah. If I saw that and there was a great libertarian ticket also, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure how good the libertarian ticket would have to be at that point for me to not vote for a Dave Chappelle, Donald Trump ticket. Is Dave Chappelle at the top of the ticket? I guess you said Trump's running mate. Yeah, either way, fine. I would have a hard time voting libertarian in that election. I got to be honest with you. Maybe that makes me a bad libertarian, but according to Twitter, I'm already one. Sad. So Trump Chappelle slogan, I'm rich, bitch. Yes, I like that. We can work with that. I will be making the videos for that campaign, by the way. I didn't want to make Trump's campaign videos ever, but for that ticket, I'll even go that far. I would probably be more into making videos for it than I would be into voting for it, because I know that one of these things would be fun, and the other one would not only feel dirty, but it would account for nothing. Because, you know, the rules are made up and the points don't matter. What else we got here? Jack Case says, I was telling my dog to stop barking, right as you said, maybe chill the fuck out, Jack. And I was like, damn, Dan is siding with my dog on this. No. I'm not. As much as I hate you, Jack, I do still hate your dog more. Because dogs, much like Donald Trump, dogs are literally Hitler. But whatever. Let's talk about something else. Actually, let's talk about this some more. Not Justin. I know one Zelensky in the world, and it's not Volodymyr. It's an easier name to say, like Justin. But Volodymyr Zelensky came out in response to the Poland shit. And he had this to say. Listen very closely, because these are important words. And it's not going to play. Hold on. These are very important words.
Українці, сьогодні ворог здійснив черговий масований ракетний удар по нашій країні. Загалом 90 ракет. Уражені енергосистема, підприємства, житлові будинки. Та й коли це сталося? Одразу. Як в Індонезії завершився перший день саміту «двадцятки», і найбільш помітні заяви прозвучали. Основні зустрічі відбулись. Росії кажуть про мир, а вона ракети у відповідь.
Nazi fags.
Now, I don't know what that man was saying, but I'm going to assume it was something like this. Terror is not limited to our national borders. Russian missiles hit Poland, NATO territory. This is a Russian missile attack on collective security, a very significant escalation. We must act. Blood, as Jack Posobiec would say. Terror is not limited to our national borders. Russian missiles hit Poland, NATO territory. Now, I don't know who to believe, because the people who told me this told me the other thing too. So I don't know. But I have a feeling if it was Ukrainian missiles that were coming out of Ukraine and accidentally hit into Poland, that he probably knew about it before he gave this little speech. Probably. Just a hunch. Who knows? Who knows about any of this stuff? Because they don't want you to know. They would love for you to not know, which is why they put up actors like Volodymyr Zelensky. How do I know he's an actor? I know that sounds very controversial and dangerous to say. How do I know this man is an actor? Well, he did receive an award for being one when Sean Penn went on over to Ukraine, and this happened.
This is for you.
Oh, Sean.
Yes.
No.
Please.
That is yours.
No, I feel terrible outside. It's just a symbolic, silly thing.
Yes, but
Yes.
If I know this is here with you, then I'll feel better and stronger for the fight.
So great honor, but until we will.
When you win, bring it back to Malibu.
Great.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Does this feel real to you at all, in any way whatsoever? These are two professional actors. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm saying, like, literally, these are two professional actors exchanging awards during a war. And it's just so, if this is real, if this is not staged, I mean, it's staged to some degree, obviously, because he went there and there were cameras and it was planned and blah, blah, blah. But to me, as a crazy person, this feels to me like they're putting it in your face. Zelensky is an actor. He was an actor before he was a politician. And now he's winning an award for his best role. It feels like that to me. And it feels like it's their way of saying it without saying it, but saying it enough that you feel like you know that they're definitely saying it. And also, two professional actors who are really bad at acting in this shot here. Like, Sean Penn is so awkward in this. He's like, yes, this is for you. It's like he's talking to his, like, elderly dying grandmother, and he's giving her, like, this precious heirloom, holding her hand as she dies, and maybe he puts a cross in it, and he's like, Grandma, I'm going to miss you. Hold on to this. And when you come back, you're going to make it back. It's going to be okay. When you make it back to Malibu, Grandma, it's going to be okay. Also, Jesus isn't real because I think I'm an atheist, but like, it's so weird the way he acts here. Nobody talks like that.
This is for you.
Oh, Sean.
Yes.
No.
Please.
That is yours.
No, I feel terrible outside. It's just a symbolic, silly thing.
Yes, but
if I know this is here with you, then I'll feel better and stronger for the fight.
If I know that my Bloviation Circle Jerk Award is here with you, which has nothing to do with any of this, if I know that this stupid nothing is here with you, then I will feel strong enough for the fight as some guy over there yelling about stuff, like not really doing anything, but I'll feel stronger. I'll feel stronger knowing that my Circle Jerk Award is here and safe. No, not really safe, because you guys you're all dying, right? That's what's happening, I'm pretty sure. It's safe, though, or it's coming back. I don't know, man. What is this? What is this? I don't know. What is this? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Are these actors being actors, or are they being real and honest and just so passionate for the first time in their acting lives? Let's take a look at something completely different, and it's just a headline. That's all we need, but it was submitted by the Jolly Flogger, whose name I don't remember, his Twitter handle, at Pirate Roberts, but with a 1 instead of an I in the pirate. At Pirate Roberts sent in an article, and you know what happens. You know what it is. You know what it means when we send in an article. That means it's time for your favorite segment of all time, actually, ever. It's Freak of the Week.
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Hey, get what you f***ing deserve!
All your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
That's right. It's the Freak of the Week segment where you guys submit something that you find to be interesting. Spicy, weird, a little bit freaky sometimes. And this time is no exception because the Jolly Flogger sent in this. From Metro News, a woman stopped at the airport while wearing a butt plug containing boyfriend's ashes. Again, a woman was stopped at the airport, which means they patted her. They found something off. I'm guessing there was metal involved going through that detector, and she got stopped, patted down. They had to take her aside. I'm guessing they had to do a cavity search, and then they found something that was like probably a powdery substance shoved into her anus, which is a common place to hide drugs. But it wasn't drugs at all. No. No, it was her boyfriend's ashes. Which does require a lot more explanation. Hey, Liza Escobar's here. She said 24 minutes in and I'm bored. Thanks for coming, Liza. Thanks for tuning in. This, go find your boyfriend and shove his ashes up your butt. This has been the Freak of the Week.
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Get what you f***ing deserve!
Your days don't belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
Oh, the best part about that is Liza's like, a half hour behind us. We're living in the future here. She doesn't know. She doesn't know that I said that thing about her, and she's probably never going to know because, I don't know. If you made it this far, Liza, welcome. I'm glad we maintained your entertainment value up till about 49 minutes. But we'd like to talk about conspiracies here, and there was a conspiracy going around a while back about, like, they're going to, I don't know, we're going to look at your carbon data and they're going to track you and they're going to make sure that you're not using too much of this scary climate-changing carbon. That was a crazy conspiracy theory up until about 25 minutes ago, I think, because the World Economic Forum's going on, and they had this to say.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's, where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Yay.
We're developing.
They're working on it, guys. They're going to be tracking you. They're going to be following you. All these crazy conspiracy theorists that are saying that they're going to be tracking you and following you and social credit scores and things. It's not going to happen, except they really want it to. If I have anything to say about it, it's not going to happen, but that does not change the fact that this is so far from a conspiracy theory at this point that they just will say it, and you will go, huh, interesting. I've never heard that one before. It sounds a little familiar, but I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Please, put the chip in. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. I think the reason why Liza is so pissed off, or at least she was a half hour ago, I have a feeling she turned it around between then and now. But the reason I'm pretty sure that she was so pissed off is not because the dishwasher was broken, but it's actually because I haven't talked about the thing that she's here for, which seemed like it was going to be Dave Chappelle on SNL. So I guess let's give her what she wants. We're going to do it. We're going to talk about Dave Chappelle on SNL. But unfortunately, Liza, I hope you don't get too bored. Hang with me. We've got a couple ads, and we'll be right back after this. Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic, cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey Books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books, with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is jackcaseybooks.com. Have you guys heard of Matt Miller? He's not only the guy who paints those amazing portraits of all your favorite heroes in the Liberty Movement and in pop culture, but he's also now an official sponsor of this show. From Murray Rothbard to Ron Paul, Dr. Robert Malone to Darth Maul, Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits has something fun for everyone to spice up your home or office and showcase your heroes. Go check out his incredible work at libertyportraits.com. Grab a print to impress your friends, hire him for a custom portrait, or bring him out to a festival to capture your event in real life in a beautiful and unique way. To find out more, just head over to libertyportraits.com. Once again, that is libertyportraits.com. We live in a new age, and it's time for us to upgrade our tinfoil hats. Operation Tinfoil is a freedom-focused small business and trusted sponsor of this show. Their super comfortable new line of beanies and baseball caps will not only crown your skull in style, but each of these dome defenders is lined with a silver mesh that blocks up to 99% of EMF radiation from cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yes, even 5G. We don't know what EMF radiation does to the brain long term, but neither do they, so don't be their guinea pig and don't wait around to find out. Get your stylish tinfoil hat of the future today at gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. Again, that's gettinfoil.com. Use the promo code SYSTEM for $10 off your order. We're back. Hey. Hey, guys. Hey, Liza, did you make it? Are you still there? I'm just being mean. So Dave Chappelle, he was on SNL, and Liza really wants me to talk about that, I think. She probably doesn't, actually. I think it looks like, based on her other comments, she's just here for me to, like, love Trump, and I'm not loving him hard enough for her. So either way, whatever. Have a good day. That's enough. That's enough of that. But let's, we did have a couple fake super chats here, so we'll go through those real quick. Make you wait a little longer. Fake super chat from Joey Two Guns. There's a rocket going to the moon now, you know. You're welcome. I heard about that. I did not have time to look into it, but just know that it's about as real as this super chat is. Nathan Klein says, fake super chat. It's not enough to be passively not warmongering. We must be actively anti-warmongering. Yes, we must be peacemongering. Monger the hell out of that peace. Scare people into peace. I mean, frankly, yes, we should be scaring people into peace because it's pretty scary to think about blowing up the world. So it's not really, mongering as much as it is warning that if you start nuclear war with nuclear powers, nuclear things happen, and they don't usually fare that well for humans or other species, including Mother Nature. Womp womp. Now, let's talk about Dave Chappelle. He was on SNL this week. First episode I've watched of SNL since I think Elon Musk went on because, I held on for a long time. I know everybody says, yeah, SNL wasn't even... It hasn't been good since the 80s. SNL hasn't been good since the 90s. It was okay then, and SNL hasn't been good since the 70s. Like, we get it. You don't like SNL, fine. I held on for a little bit longer, not because I, legitimately enjoyed it even. I held on to see, to watch the progression. I was bored. I watched a lot more TV back then. I held on through, the Bill Hader years and the Andy Samberg years and stuff like that. Those guys were great. There were some ups and downs, and then it really started getting during the Trump years and after the Trump years and all that. I don't think I made it to the end of Trump's presidency. Still watching. I don't know when I fell off, but at some point I got a fucking life and decided that there were more important things, or more important things to do with my time than spending an hour watching SNL. Like I could be spending an hour looking at dirt in the corner, pondering it and contemplating the best way to remove it. That is way more productive than watching SNL half the time, because if your goal is, if SNL's goal is to make people laugh and do so with political bends and stuff like that, that's great. That's fine. I love it. I love edgy, controversial, especially political humor. Even if I disagree with their politics, I love it. If it's a good joke, it's a good joke. And they just weren't good jokes. I don't care that they were making fun of Donald Trump, but when your only joke is Trump sucks, it's like, yes. Can you tell the joke now? Because I'm waiting for the punchline. If the punchline is always Donald Trump, then why would I care to listen to the next joke? I know what the punchline is. It's Donald Trump. I mean, in fairness, Donald Trump is still the punchline. Sorry, Republicans. Yeah, so Chappelle went on this, and I was hearing stuff. I didn't watch it live. I had some people send it to me and said, hey, you got to watch this monologue. And I was like, okay, whatever. I waited a while because just didn't get around to it right away. And then finally watched it, and I was like, oh, I see. Huh. And I've got some thoughts. I've got the entire thing here. We're not going to watch the entire thing, obviously, but I do have the entire show here. And for the sake of avoiding the YouTube censors, this has been desaturated, flipped in reverse, and pitch shifted. So it's going to sound and look a little bit strange, but you'll be able to hear the jokes and know what's going on without too much distortion or anything. So let's watch this. Hold on. Let me switch some things over here. We're going to watch some of this, and the main reason I want to watch some of this is because a lot of people are talking about this monologue. The monologue I thought was great. The main issue that people have with it, obviously, is that it was super anti-Semitic or whatever. We're not going to watch the entire monologue, even. We'll probably jump through some of that, but it was funny, and that's really all that matters. And if something is funny, and the fact that it's funny about a certain group of people, I don't know. Like, it's not anti-Semitic, the things that he said. It's jokes. Some of them have, like, edgy leanings that are poking at the idea that everything is anti-Semitic or that the Jews run this or that or whatever. But it wasn't anti-Semitic. It's a Dave Chappelle joke that's just ragging on another group of people, just like he does to everybody else. And when he does that, and when that is one of two groups that can't handle this, it doesn't look great. I gotta say, because people are big mad about Dave Chappelle. And the interesting thing that I found out today, which we're going to read a little bit about in a little bit, because the whole time I'm watching this monologue, it's like a half-hour long monologue. Usually they're like 5 minutes long. Dude ranted for a half an hour. He ranted for like half the show, just in the intro. Apparently, it wasn't planned to be that way, and it wasn't planned to be that monologue. I was wondering the entire time, like, how did he get this by the censors? And I had a theory of, my theory, which we'll talk more about, is that Dave Chappelle is going to take over for Lorne Michaels, and he's going to run SNL. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm stating it. I'm speaking it into existence. I am naming it and proclaiming it. Dave Chappelle is going to take over SNL, and it's going to be amazing. I have a lot of reasons for this theory, and a lot of it has to do with this episode. But we'll watch. So, funny stuff. There's another character that comes in at the end as well. Oh, what's his face? I don't remember his name. Rick James comes in at the end and all that, and he flies off on a dragon, which, I mean, primarily the joke is the black people with light-colored hair, and then all of his characters that had that as well coming into play. But, whatever. Just seemed odd. Out of character for SNL a little bit. Seemed like Chappelle definitely had some bit of a say in that. And then this one, we'll watch a little bit of this one too. Are we still on here? Did we lose you? Jack Casey just texted me saying, I lost you. Did I lose you? Let's see. The system is indeed down. It seems as though I've lost you. I did lose you. Okay. So I'll finish this. I'll wrap this up. I'm not sure if it's still recording. I might have to piece together after. If you're still there, let me know. I'm guessing it's because I played the thing and that happens. I shouldn't be that surprised. All right. So shit. We'll be right back after this quick break from our sponsors.